Okay, questions about heads. This is my original head that came with the motor. There was no ring here, like on these other ones. There was no raised ring. This combustion chamber is really shallow. This raised square area was taller, but I was trying to measure squish on this before I realized that it doesn't really have a real squish band. And I was getting a really high number here and a lower number here, which didn't make any sense to me. Okay, so there's that. This is a replacement angle head. And listen, I need an angle head because I'm building on a mongoose dolomite and I don't have room for a tall head, which is why I haven't bought a really good head, because most of them are extra tall and I don't have the room for that. So here's the situation with this head. It looks like they created, I'm guessing they created a squish band with just a big chamfer on a drill press and it wasn't centered. You can see these holes aren't really centered very well. What you have here is a narrow band here and a much thicker band here. So whatever made this angle was not centered. Was that intentional? I don't know. My thoughts are that, well, my question is, will this cause the fuel mixture to swirl because there's a larger angled area here than there is over there? Will that be good? Will that be bad? What are your thoughts on that? Also, I bought this, which had a better looking combustion chamber and an even band here. But then I noticed that it had a really small spark plug hole. And I asked about it and wondered if it was for a pocket bike. Well, I can tell you it was not sold as a pocket bike head. It was sold as a 49cc, 60cc, 80, whatever, motorized bike head. The other thing is, I watched a video by the guy that makes the Fred heads, and he uses a smaller spark plug. So I've got another question here. I can't find the damn spark plug that came with it. My other question is, does it matter? If I use this head and the small spark plug is like my magneto just generating the right amount of power for any spark plug that I could end up using? Or is there a problem there? As I said, I'd like to buy, I would pay 40, 50, 60 bucks even if I had to for a really good head. But I need an angle head. I don't have room for these giant things and their extra cooling fins. So this will fit, and these angle heads will fit. So if you think a better head is the answer, I need an angle head, and I can't find one. So if you have a link, that would be great. If you think this non-centered squish band is okay, let me know. If you think this thing with no squish band and a super small combustion chamber is going to be the better option, let me know. And if you can base it on anything other than, you know, 3 other people said this. So the downside to this hobby is I think most people are going on hearsay and myth. And, you know, they just heard the same thing so many damn times that they just believe it and everybody repeats it and nobody has any science to back most of these opinions up. I think that I could run any one of these heads and probably wouldn't notice any difference. I'm starting to, I have a suspicion that, you know, most of these things that you gotta do in this hobby are just end up being bullshit and equate to like 1 mile per hour faster or a 1/10 of a gallon savings in fuel. I mean, they're not that complicated of a motor. But hey, maybe it all does matter. I don't know. And I can't take most people's word for it because most people are just repeating something that they heard from the last guy who repeated it from the guy before him. There's no science to back most of this up. And if there is, the science is so deep that you can't explain it anyway. I mean, you can't understand what the hell people are talking about because, you know, I mean, getting into formulas and measuring combustion chamber and all this crazy shit. In the end, I don't think it's really that important. But that's my question. Use this crappy, almost non-existent combustion chamber. That'll be high compression. What's the story with this thing and the small spark plug? It looks better. It's even. It's smooth. Use this thing. I really want an angle head because I don't even know if I could use this with a spark plug sticking up. I may not have enough room. And any links to a really good angled head would really be appreciated.